So, what is an afterlife messaging platform? Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. With us from Eternal Applications is CEO Chris Jalbert. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Fred. Pleasure to be here.
A pleasure to meet you. Let's get an overview, first of all, of what you are creating.
So, Eternal Applications is really an afterlife messaging platform that allows users to leave text, video, and audio messages to be delivered to their loved ones after passing. So, it could be a message that's delivered immediately at passing. It could be a birthday message at the first occurrence of that passing. It could be for a specific anniversary, say a 50th wedding anniversary. And it's really designed to give you that peace of mind of knowing, God forbid the day comes tomorrow or many years down the line, that you have that legacy and you have your wisdom and your love and your stories there for whenever the moment comes.
Step us through how this would be used.
Sure. So first, a prospective user would go on our website, eternalapplications.com, and create an account. And from there, the process is actually very simple. You first decide which type of message you would like to leave, again, being written text, written audio, or video, and you input the required contact information. You designate the actual event that you would like to have the message delivered, again, being at your passing or birthday or a fixed date. You would designate your administrator, and that's the person who would actually notify us of your passing. And they can also have various privileges, such as updating contact information or delivery date information after your passing. And then the process is simple. You create your message. All of the tools are built in directly in app for you. It could be you can drag and drop a file, but really you don't need any additional tools on top of the site. No need for Microsoft Office, no need for a fancy video editor. Everything is there for you. And the cool part about the site is we've really tried to design it to be as user friendly as possible. So if you want to come back many years down the line with new stories and new bits of wisdom and new reflections that you want to pass on, you can update it. You can update your message and delete it, start over, add on to it. You have really that permanent flexibility at no extra cost, which is great.
How did this idea come about, Chris?
So this is really a byproduct of the unfortunate events of COVID. I think I have a similar story as to unfortunately so many people around the world where I lost both of my grandfathers passed away, and uh, my maternal grandfather when he passed, I was reflecting, and he had unfortunately a long battle with dementia and Alzheimer's, and by the time that he passed away, he really was a shell of himself. That he recognized very few people, and he wasn't nearly as he wasn't the person that we had all grown to love so deeply. And I thought, how beautiful could it have been had the last memory that we all had of him been when he was still sharp and vibrant and full of life with all these stories, and how many of those bits of wisdom did we never get to hear? How great would it have been to get that one last I love you, and how much he would have enjoyed that at the same time. No one wants to see themselves fall to that state of mind, and now you have a tool to really give that sense of closure to your loved ones, and be there also for key moments.
I'm sorry for your losses, and it's a wonderful story. So there are a number of options for customers, and is this all done? Can it be done through a phone, or how is it done? A lot of people don't have, a great deal of technology.
Yep, very good point. So we really designed, again, the site to be as user friendly as possible. It can be accessible through a desktop, a laptop, a tablet, your iPhone. We understand that not everyone is very tech savvy, so we've really made an effort to make it accessible across platform, make it responsive to the various phones and various configurations of monitors, and um, you can access it really anytime as long as you have an internet connection.
And you can go back and change whatever messages you have scheduled to
Yes,
go out when the time
yes,
comes.
exactly.
So tell me, people would have to take a leap of faith, I suppose, in doing this and thinking that, okay, I can do this, but what guarantees are there that this company is going to be around and deliver the messages that I've recorded? How do
Sure.
you address that?
Sure, I would say that there's certainly a risk with every company. In our case, we've really made an effort to remain a lean team where we actually just a couple months ago now have closed our first round of funding. So I'd say we're very well capitalized, and fundamentally, I think this addresses a solution or a problem that pretty much everyone in the world faces, that we have people that we so deeply care about, and we want to be there for them in the moments that we need us. And in this case, it's a moment that otherwise you just can't be present for, almost by definition. So I think we're in a very good position to stick around for a good while.
That's great. And would the user and his or her administrator also be able to like download everything that's been put into the system just to have it locally?
So the user has the ability to download their messages at any point, and the administrator wouldn't necessarily. It would depend on the specific privileges that you give them, because we understand privacy from the user's perspective, that you may not want your administrator to download all of your messages. Some of them may be for you may want it to just be between you and another specific person. And so really by default, messages are will only be viewed by the person creating it and the person who's designated to receive it. And the person who's receiving it will have a long window to be able to download it, and the creator can download it at any time.
The program Succession drew a huge audience. What guarantees? I mean, there are no guarantees on the types of messages that can be left. Are there any restrictions? I assume most of these are going to be nice and loving, but not all, perhaps.
Certainly, and that's something that we've been very cognizant of from the get-go, and we certainly outline it in great detail in our terms of service. Of course, any sort of unlawful or illegal activities is just an immediate no-go. We have algorithms in place or I should probably say software in place that's designed to anonymously review content with no human in the loop, just to make sure that everything is up to our standards and up to the legality of what you can and can't communicate. Um, but for the most part,
There are no rules though that say all of the messages have to be, I guess, nice, for want of a better
not
word.
necessarily. Of course, there are terms revolving around harassment and things of the sort. So, but if you so choose, and we believe that this is and will continue to be the minority of cases. If you wish to, communicate something, maybe not as positive and uplifting, it is your right to do so.
But for the most part, I think you're right that this would be used to express love and encouragement
Yeah, exactly.
in the years to come. So it would be, I guess, create a little scenario for us of a for instance here of
Sure.
how someone would use it.
Sure. So more often than not, we see parents and grandparents who have a desire to leave specific messages for the future generations and also their significant others. So if we take a very relatable scenario, we can take a couple with two or three children, and they may want to leave, say, a message for each other on an anniversary or when they've passed away. Oftentimes, we'll see almost across the board, folks want to leave messages at their passing, and then a handful for specific events. And children are often the recipient of birthday messages. And one of the realities of that relationship is, as a child, the first birthday after a parent's passing is the first birthday that you're spending it without them. And having that one message, the event is somewhat bittersweet, because their presence is certainly, or the lack of their presence is being felt. And having that message, oftentimes parents will schedule a message to be delivered at the first occurrence of their child's birthday following their passing, and just to be there be there, give that one last I love you, say, whatever needs to be said, maybe a funny story, that you're proud of them, a little bit of parting wisdom. And I'd say that that would be a very standard use case for us.
Can it be set to be a recurring thing every year on a birthday or et cetera?
So that's currently not a feature, but it is something that we have in the pipeline to build out. We one really the rationale that why it isn't currently a feature is we're really focused on personalized messages, so that it's one instance where it's special. You can rewatch it as many times as you want, but we figured we're not going to make people make many different messages for 50 different messages for one for every year, or have the same message be replayed 50 times for the same event.
And can the recipients, they can save the
Yes.
message?
Yes, of course.
Tell us about the pricing and how this all works.
Sure. So the pricing is really broken up into three different packages. We have the basic, plus, and premium package, which in the S fundamentally differs by the quantity of messages that you get to leave. So it's one message, three messages, and 10 messages for basic, plus, and premium, respectively. And that'll go from 49, 49.99, and 149 for the basic, plus, and premium, again, respectively. And of those, each of those packages, you get 10 unique recipients per message. So from 10 to 100 messages and 30 messages for the plus package. A 50-year delivery window, administrator rights, meaning that they can update the delivery information and the contact information if you so choose, and really permanent editability. So at any point you can go back, change it. You don't have to go through a long customer service process where you're fighting to get credit for your message back. You can come back in the comfort of your own home and make changes as you see fit.
Very interesting, Chris. So where do people go for more info and maybe to sign up?
So that will be at www.eternalapplications.com or app.eternalapplications.com if you prefer to go directly to our homepage or to our login screen, excuse me.
Terrific. Chris Jalbert, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you very much, Fred. Appreciate you for having me on.